What's up, family? It's world-renowned author and storyteller Matt D. Talford back with another video. And let me begin by saying this. I don't have much of a voice. It's late, and I've been doing a lot of talking today, so I don't have much of a voice. But I was directed, in fact, heavily leaned on by Spirit to come in and record this video this evening. I would have preferred to do it tomorrow morning when I'm back in my lower register, but this is what happens when you're talking all day and you're baritone and your vocal cords get a little tight. The pitch goes up a little bit, but it is what it is. Anyway, let me begin with a laugh this evening. If you want God to laugh at you, tell him what you're not going to do. Tell him what you're not going to do. Why do I say that? Because even though some time ago I was urged and leaned on by a lot of my friends who are on the twin flame journey to do videos, I always said I would never jump in that field, that realm, that area of YouTube. I always said, nah, you know what? I mean, you guys like to ask me for advice because you consider me a guy that knows a lot of things about a lot of things, but I'm not going to do any videos on that topic. And here I am doing yet another twin flame video. So now, if you guys have been following my channel, you know that a few days ago, I did a video from the perspective of the divine masculine, because so many so-called twin flame divine counterpart videos are from the perspective of the divine feminine. But I did one for the divine masculine, and tonight you might say it's fitting that I do one specific to the divine feminine. I won't say it's fitting. In fact, I had no plans to do this video. This was the product of a channeled message from the spirit realm. Yes, a channeled message from the spirit realm. Spirit gives us these messages and says, start writing, and you do what you're told. So tonight's video will be a channeled message from Spirit to the divine feminine. Now, I had a couple of songs in mind that I was going to sing for you guys. You guys know I sing a little bit, and but I don't have much of a voice now, so I won't be singing those songs in this evening. But what I will do is I will put links to the originals in the description box. Why? Because I feel like both of these songs are fitting with regards to the energy, if you will, that a lot of the divine feminines are in the collective. The first one is fitting for the beginning of this channeled message. The second one will be fitting for the end of this channeled message. Now, before I get into the message, I want to thank those of you who are my returning subscribers and my new subscribers. I love you guys to the moon and back. If you're new to this channel, thank you for clicking on this video. I will tell you that I am not a twin flame coach. I've got friends who are very near and dear to me who are members of that collective, and they know me or label me as someone who has a lot of knowledge about a lot of things, and they ask me for a lot of advice. They know that I'm a lifetime problem solver, so let's just say that I help some of these friends with different aspects of their life journeys. Okay, let's say that. So, but I am not a twin flame coach, and this is not a twin flame channel. I typically break down scripture and illustrate for you all how the scriptures are spiritual in nature and not religious. That is the primary function of my channel. Every now and then I'll delve into other topics and such. But I'm going to take a short break. I'm going to grab a little bit of water. And when I get back, I'm going to present to you a letter to the divine feminine. And I titled this video, Twin Flames, a channeled message from Spirit to the divine feminine. And it will be presented in letter format. All right? I'm going to take a quick break, and we'll come right back and get right on that. You're watching Maddie's Rap with author Matt D. Talford. Okay, we're back with Maddie's Rap. And before I get into this letter to the Divine Feminine, I want to let you guys know, for those of you who are new to my channel, when you see me wearing this BDU jacket, I'm dealing with topics that are specific to spiritual warfare. So those of you who've been watching me for a while, you know what time it is when I got this jacket on. So tonight's letter to the Divine Feminine is encouragement for the journey that they're on, okay? And this journey, believe it or not, is one that is spiritual. A lot of people, when they hear twin flames, they think it's something that is romantic. Let me turn my notifications off here. They think it's something that's romantic, or they think it's about, love and all of this. It's really a spiritual journey, and it is about divine purpose, okay? And anytime you're talking about divine purpose, there are typically entities out there that do not want that divine purpose to be fulfilled. The war between good and evil is not new. It is ancient. So when you guys see me wearing this BDU stands for battle dress uniform. As you can tell, I was in the U.S. Army, and I'm not wearing the one with my name badge on it tonight, but I got my combat patch on. I spent a little bit of time in the Persian Gulf, and I got my expert field medical badge. That is one of the things that I'm most proud of in this lifetime. It's a very difficult field trial, one of the most difficult tests across all branches of the military, and I passed it the first time around at the age of the tender age of 18. It's one of those things I'm proud of. But anyway, I don't want to bore you guys, and I don't want to hold you anymore. Let's get into this this channel message. Again, wasn't something that I had planned to do. Never thought I was going to be doing twin flame videos, but here it is. So let me get into this, all right? Twin flames, a channeled message from spirit to the divine feminine. Dear divine feminine twin flame, today, spirit showed me that your divine masculine counterparts have karmic attachments that have either paid people to do so or have tried casting spells on you themselves in order to keep you, divine feminine, and your divine masculine counterpart apart, but obviously to no avail, and actually to their own detriment, because something bad has happened in their lives each and every time they have tried you, so they've stopped trying. In fact, their spell work has actually been alchemized by spirit and served to only strengthen your divine masculine spiritually. Oh, the irony. But back to the channel message. Divine feminine, what you need to know is that in the same way the spirit of light and truth communicates with you and gives you downloads, your divine counterparts' karmic soulmate attachments also get downloads and communication, but from the spirit of darkness. So what the spirit of darkness told these karmic attachments is that they cannot affect you directly in any way, divine feminine, in any way, shape, or form, because you are divinely guarded and protected to the highest degree. So instead, the spirit of darkness directed the karmics to attack you indirectly via your unaware divine masculines. What does that look like? I'll explain. What the karmics do is they use rituals and words/conversation, remember words are spells, to manipulate your divine masculines into not communicating with you in an attempt to cause you, divine feminine, emotional pain. I'll touch on why this is an exercise in futility at the end. The karmic's end game is that you cease dealing with your divine masculines altogether, or that your anger is kindled against your divine masculines to put an energetic squeeze on them. The karmics are already pressuring them. Then add to that the pain they experience energetically from your anger and or your harsh words toward them. The result is that they're taken further down the path of suffering. The end goal of the enemy, the forces of darkness, which are trying so desperately to keep the earth under low vibrational energy, is to use low vibrational karmic attachments to pit your divine masculines against you, so that you are constantly in energetic conflict with each other, that is, you and your divine masculine, as opposed to fulfilling the collective divine purpose of purifying and unifying your divine powers to help raise the frequency of Mother Earth via the power of unconditional love, and hence driving the darkness out of this realm so that everyone can enjoy heaven right here on earth. What you must know is that the fully awakened and healed divine feminine collective is far too powerful spiritually for these lower vibrational energies, because you all are too high vibrational. So what the enemy does is attempts to use the very people you love the most, and typically unbeknownst to them, to attack you spiritually in an attempt to lower your vibrations. Now that, as an aside, that could be your divine masculine, but it could also be your family members and your friends. Keep that in mind. When the divine feminine is in low vibrational energy, she cannot use her powers to bring her divine masculine online, because what is she doing? And when I say she and divine feminine, remember, it's just energy. There are men out there that carry the divine feminine, and their counterparts are women that carry the divine masculine. So the energies are just energies. You don't have to be a woman to have divine feminine. You don't have to be a man to have divine masculine. I explain that all the time. There are a lot of twin flame coaches and a lot of twin flame tarot readers that explain the same thing. Back to the letter. When the divine feminine is in low vibrational energy, she cannot use her powers to bring her divine masculine online, because what is she doing? She is working to return to her highest operational potency, which is to exist in the love frequency. The constant resetting action of being driven into a temporary low vibrational state and subsequently working to raise her vibration serves as a distraction from her divine purpose, which is using her powers of self-love to magnetically attract her divine masculine to the point of healing and eventual unification of the divine feminine and divine masculine energy, which is a whole other level of high vibrational power. I'm going to pause in this letter and plug a video that you may or may not have seen. If you have not seen my twin flame video where I give the example of the 80s cartoon Voltron, how these 5 robots were powerful on their own, but when they combined to form this giant robot Voltron, they could overcome any evil in the universe, I want you to watch that again. I will leave the link in the description box below, because that is exactly what I'm talking about here when I say unification of divine feminine and divine masculine energy. I will continue with the letter now. The thing that the darkness fears most is unified, high vibrational, divine masculine and divine feminine energy. Why? Because unified, high vibrational DM/DF energy is a literal miniature replica of divine source energy and is unstoppable. So what is the divine feminine to do in all of this? The divine feminine is to not allow herself to be triggered by the same old tricks, i.e. ghosting, breadcrumbing, unkind or harsh words, etc. Stay in that high vibrational energy field and do not kindle anger against your divine masculine or be tempted to engage in low vibrational substitute relationships that do not serve your highest good. I got a story I'm going to share with you that came from one of my subscribers at the end of this with regards to these substitute relationships. Divine feminine, state your position if you must. Remind your divine masculine that the two of you are a team, or if nothing else, that you are friends to the end. Set boundaries regarding communication. For example, I would rather you tell me sorry, but that you cannot talk right now and that you're going through some things or whatever, than to not respond to my texts or phone calls. If that does not change the behavior, take a break from initiating communication with them for as long as is necessary. Let the Holy Spirit guide you. Remind them that you love them and let them know that you will never, ever give up on them any more than you would give up on yourself. But also that in order for you to keep your vibrations high, you cannot and will not deal with anything from them that causes you emotional pain. Also, listen to healing frequencies. Spend time in meditation. Spend time planting your bare feet into the earth and sun gazing. Also, remember to keep your chakras tuned and balanced. Avoid low vibrational foods if you can help it. This will help keep your temple clear so that you can receive unfettered downloads from the spirit realm. Get adequate rest by not being constantly on the go. Get out and speak with people. Be harmlessly flirtatious if it makes you feel good. For example, a gently flirtatious smile or words. But be sure to use your intuitive powers to know with whom it is safe to do so. In other words, avoid creating karmic connections of your own. Let the spirit of truth and righteousness guide you. And last but not least, I do not know who needed to hear this message, but please hold this instruction near and dear to your heart. A true divine counterpart will never, ever put their hands on you in any act of physical violence or abuse. If someone causes you physical harm, even if they apologize, they are not your divine counterpart. So scratch them off the list and keep it moving. Last but not least, if you are listening to this letter and you do not identify personally with the twin flame journey, do not, I repeat, do not go out searching for a so-called twin flame divine counterpart. If you have a so-called twin flame / divine counterpart, that soul will always find you and or you them. This will always happen without you searching for them and happens in accordance with divine timing and divine purpose. Now, why is the attempt to foment or instigate an end to the communication between you and your divine masculine an exercise in futility? Well, the pain that the divine feminine feels from being ghosted or breadcrumbed by the divine masculine causes her pain. Remember, the divine masculine and divine feminine share an unbreakable energetic bond because they are one in the spirit realm. They are one. So any pain inflicted by one is mirrored back to them, such that the originator will eventually do whatever they deem necessary to heal the pain. This is a product of divine design, so in the end, though the karmic seems bad per se, they actually serve a divine purpose, which is triggering both divine counterparts into healing and soul growth, so that they fulfill the divine purpose for their joint incarnation in this lifetime. That's the end of the letter. So, I wanted to make sure I added that part at the end to explain that because, again, and remember, energies, you can flip them. Divine feminine does not have to be a female. It can also be a male. Divine masculine does not have to be a male. It can also be the female in that connection. When the divine masculine does these things that causes them to when they do things like breadcrumbing or things like ghosting their divine counterpart, it causes that divine counterpart pain. But that pain that is felt by the divine feminine when they don't get, and I hear this from a lot of divine feminines tell me this. They're like, I texted him, he didn't return my text, or he said he was coming over at such and such time, and he didn't come over, or I might hit him up and he might hit me back 3 days later. He doesn't keep his word, whatever. I hear a lot of these things from a lot of the divine feminines, and they're in a lot of pain when they're saying these things. But the thing that they have to remember, the thing that you have to remember, Divine Feminine, is that any pain, any energetic pain that you feel in your fourth chakra, it is mirrored back to the Divine Masculine, and they feel that pain too. And this is, again, by divine design. Eventually, the back and forth triggering ceases because both parties say, hey, you know what, man, this pain sucks. What are we doing? What are we doing? And it eventually goes away. So don't allow karmic attachments to trigger you, Divine Feminine, because, again, all they're doing is triggering the soul growth that is necessary in your Divine Masculine before the two of you can embark upon your joint purpose. If that Divine Masculine has more healing to do, the Divine Purpose, it won't get done. If that Divine Feminine has more healing to do, that Divine Purpose won't get done. So both parties in these divine unions have, as a initial stage or as a middle stage, a lot of healing to do from different things. Typically with the Divine Feminine, it is codependency. With the Divine Masculine, is ego death. I got notes for another video that I scripted. I'm going to do that. I'm going to say that as a separate video because I wanted to get off of here. But I wanted to make sure I added that part at the end. A lot of the Divine Feminines in the journey look at the karmics as being bad people, and they're like, oh man, this karmic attached to my Divine Masculine, blah, blah, blah. The karmic did this, karmic did that. Don't worry about the karmic. Because one, they can't touch you. They cannot touch you. And two, they have a job to do. Their job is to trigger that Divine Masculine into healing. And they do just that. And when that work is done, then, nothing can stop that divine joint purpose for coming into fruition. A lot of people have a lot of different ideas about what the purpose of the divine counterparts incarnating at the same time is. I feel like there are thousands of divine counterpart teams that have incarnated in this lifetime and are going through these different stages of the twin flame journey, because it is time for the earth's vibration to elevate and for the earth to ascend. It is just time. It's time. It is time. The Divine Feminine. I did a whole, guys, check out the video I did on, was the return of the Divine Feminine prophesied in scripture. It was. I went over some very key points in there that have to do with cosmic energy and that have to do with the ages. The Bible talks about the end of an age. That's in a few scriptures here and there and throughout the Bible. These ages are cosmic. People demonize astrology. They don't realize that the Bible itself is an astrological book. But it is, unless you know what you're looking at, you don't know that. But this is the end of the age of Pisces and the beginning of the age of Aquarius. I said this in my Was the Return of the Divine Feminine prophesied video. I'll say it here. When the age is masculine, the dominant energy on the earth is feminine. When the age is feminine, the dominant energy on the earth is masculine. Pisces is a feminine sign. So therefore, when we were in the age of Pisces, for that balance, because the cosmic age was Pisces, feminine, the dominant energy on the earth in the physical realm had to be masculine. Now it is flipping in a cycle that it's supposed to. We're now entering the age of Aquarius. Aquarius is masculine energy, so therefore to balance it, the energy in the physical realm or the earth, the dominant energy, has to be feminine. This is why the Divine Feminine energy is rising in the earth. This is why, and the whole purpose, in my opinion, of the coming into union of these divine counterparts is the energy released of unconditional love. And that is what you are seeing, because it takes unconditional love to continue in these journeys together. And that unconditional love is first put forth by the Divine Feminine. Divine Feminine energy is spiritual. Divine Masculine energy is physical. So, because twin flame energy is spiritual, the dominant driver of these connections is the holder of the divine feminine energy. The divine feminine extends unconditional love to the divine masculine. That is ultimately what pulls that divine masculine out of the karmic loop and brings them in online with the divine feminine and releases the energy of love. This is why the mainstream media, Hollywood, and all of these different entities that affect your spiritual channels, they affect the things that you see, the things that you hear. This is why there's always so much pushing of negative, low vibrational content. This is why, because there are beings that feed off low vibrational energy. They literally eat low vibrational energy. High vibrational energy they can't deal with. They can't deal with it. It destroys them. It is just like and I know a little bit about this because I went through this war myself. It's just like cancer. Cancer cells feed off of low vibrational energetic nutrition, sugar, acid. That's the fastest way to feed tumors. That's the fastest way to feed the cancer, the C word, cancer. Give it low vibrational, low energetic foods. That's what it thrives off. It cannot eat high vibrational food. It poisons it. High vibrational food literally poisons cancer cells. They don't tell you that. They rather push some more low vibrational medication into your body via radiation or chemo. Don't even get me started on that. And yeah, I got a right to talk about it because I've been through it. Woosah. Let's bring the vibrations back up. All right. So I told you guys I would share the story from a subscriber. I'm going to share that and I'm going to end this video. This was a male subscriber. This is a masculine subscriber. All right. I won't. That subscriber gave me permission to share this story with you. Also, I'm sharing it. No identity released for that subscriber. Thank you to that subscriber. This particular subscriber identifies as the divine feminine and hit me up. This was before this video, before I recorded this video. Hit me up and said to me, bruh, I've about had it with this journey. I've about had it. I'm done. Dog, I'm ready for these streets. I'm tired of being nice. I'm ready for these streets. I'm ready to get out here in these streets. I'm ready to be about these streets and say to hell with this twin flame journey. Real talk. And I said, well, I hear you. I don't tell anybody what to do. I just tell them to make sure that they understand why they're doing something. You guys know I always say with every what, there's a connected why. And then I said, so, you tired of it? I hear that a lot. I hear that from a lot of divine feminines. I hear that mainly from the females because there's not a lot of guys that identify as divine feminine and are in these connections with women that identify as the divine masculine. It's mostly the other way around. Divine feminine is females, divine masculine is males. That's the majority of what you see in the Twin Flame Collective. But then he said something very interesting to me. He told me that his grandfather appeared to him in a vision and told him, stay on the path. You've done too much work. You've gone too far. Stay on the path. Now, the interesting thing that he shared with me as well about his grandfather is that he didn't have a close relationship with his grandfather when he was growing up. So I thought that was interesting, number one. Number two, he says that he has received energetic messages and seen visions of some of his other deceased relatives, which would now qualify as ancestors because they're not here anymore. But he said never from his grandfather. And the last interesting thing that he shared with me with regards to his grandfather is that he said his grandfather back in his day was the biggest pimp in the town where he lived. His grandfather was married, but he ran them. He ran them streets. So I thought it was interesting that his grandfather would give him this communication to not be about the streets when, in fact, when he was in his life, he was in the streets. So I wanted to share that because that in and of itself should tell you guys how serious this spiritual war is and why there is such an attack on these divine counterparts. I did another video talking about why the divine masculine is so heavily attacked. The purpose of this video was to show you, divine feminine, that even though these karmic energies that are doing these different dark spiritual things to try to keep you and your divine counterpart apart cannot touch you, even though their deeds can't touch you. In fact, they don't mess with you anymore because you're too protected. What they found out is that perhaps there's a pathway to get to you guys and bring your vibrations down by using the people that you love the most. So ultimately, this video was to serve as a notification to you. I don't like the word warning, because once you get this notification and you know the game, when you know what your enemy is going to do, then you can counter it, right? So that letter covered it. That was a channeled message from Spirit. It told you what the thing was that is happening. That it told you the game of the enemies of these connections, and it told you how to handle them. Keep your vibrations high. Go back and play the video back, rewind it, save it, share it with a friend that you know that might be on that same journey that may need to hear that, because there are a lot of, particularly women who identify as divine feminine, that are going through it. So I wanted to give you guys something. I know I did another video for the divine masculines because they don't get a whole lot of love in these twin flame videos, but this one is for you, divine feminine. You are the driver of these spiritual connections. You are. So it is important for you to identify the fiery darts of the devil as is written in scripture, so that you know how to avoid them. Like, oh, okay, all right. Matt came on, he shared some wisdom that he got from the spirit realm. Now I know what to look for. So I'm not going to let these behaviors trigger me. I'm going to continue to operate in the love frequency so that I'm not constantly resetting. Remember, when you are chosen, when God's got his hand on you, the enemy cannot take your life. The enemy cannot take your life. The enemy cannot harm you. But what the enemy is allowed to do is to attempt to delay you. Because if the enemy can delay you and continue to delay you until your time's expired in these vessels, in these vehicles, then it was just as good as harming you or taking your life. So do not continue to delay the progress of your divine purpose by getting into this low vibrational energy and then having to pull yourself out. And then boom, the enemy uses your divine masculine or somebody in your family or a friend or whatever to get you back in low vibrational energy with regards to your divine counterpart. Because what they want to do, what the enemy wants to do, is get you to use your spiritual juice to wreck your own connection. Now, ultimately, you cannot break it, because that which was created by the divine cannot be broken. It cannot be broken. In fact, it is ironic that, and this is a little bit of an aside, and I'm going to end this video, but it's ironic that one of the things you hear when you watch these movies and you see these weddings, or if anybody's ever been to a wedding, or for those of you who are married, the things that you hear that has to be repeated in the vows is, you're not repeated, but you hear these officials, whether it's a pastor or a justice of the peace or whatever, you hear them say, "Whom God has joined together, let no man put asunder." The irony there is that the divorce rate in Western countries is higher than anywhere else in the world, particularly here in the United States. I want to say it's almost 1 in 2. It's laughable. But the reality there is that it wasn't God to put those unions together, because whom God has joined together, literally, energetically, nobody can put asunder. So if you got a high level soulmate or a divine counterpart twin flame, those are unbreakable bonds. Those are unbreakable bonds. So no man can put them asunder. But what the enemy of your soul will do is continue to try to delay you by pitting you against each other. You can't do it anymore. You got to understand his moves and be a team. Once you overcome that hurdle, your enemy already cannot touch you, because they're not allowed to. You're divinely, you got the amount of protection you got around you is just ridiculous. If the Most High opened your eyes and let you see it, you would probably pass out. That's how much divine light protection you have around you. So you literally are untouchable. But what the enemy tries to do is infiltrate and play this divide and conquer thing. And I even talked about that in my Adam and Eve video that I did. I'll put a link in that, link to those Adam and Eve videos in the description box, because this is almost like a continuation of an ancient war. And really, this is like the last stand for the forces of darkness. They cannot stop the ascension of the earth. They cannot stop. They cannot stop it. But you can save yourself a lot of pain and heartache by understanding what the tactics are of the enemy and not letting them get to you. That's all I got for you, family. I won't talk about my books in this video. There'll be links in the description box below. This was a channeled message to the divine feminine. I hope this video helps somebody. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And again, please share this with others that you know are on this journey, because all divine feminines need to hear this message, because every last one of them are going through the same thing. It is an attempt to keep the high vibrational, unconditional love frequency from raising the Mother Earth up to where she is supposed to ascend to in this age. It cannot be stopped. But save yourself some heartache, okay? Get online with your divine masculine by ceasing to let their behaviors trigger you. Don't let their behaviors trigger you, because all it is an attempt to delay you. Don't do it. You got the instructions. You got the game plan. Come out of the locker room and go win the game. I love you guys. Tell somebody you love them and mean it. How do you mean it? You have to show it. If you're new to this channel and you like my content, check out some of my other content. Again, I'm not a twin flame coach. All right. I don't give advice like, other than my friends. I got friends I talk to, but I'm not like somebody that gives whatever. You got a question, put it in the comments. Let the entire collective help out. I'll read the comments. I'll be happy to answer any questions. Leave them in the comments. But aside from here, I don't have a business doing coaching twin flames. I'm not knocking anybody who does. I feel like people need to be paid for their time. I'm doing this because I'm not charging anybody to do this. This is something that's helping the earth. So my rewards come from heaven. Anyway, and again, this is not to knock anybody that is coaching out there. Do you deserve to be paid for your time? And I tip my hat to anybody that is working and grinding and getting it on their own versus clocking in on somebody's job and being told when they can go on vacation and when they can't. All right. I love you guys. Take care. Peace.